Hey everybody, welcome back to the cave. I'm your name, and today we're diving into a topic that's both fascinating and eerie: abandoned technology and vehicles. We're talking about those rusting hulks of metal, forgotten monuments to human ingenuity, left to gather dust and tell silent stories of a bygone era. You see these things and can't help but wonder, what happened here? What led to something this impressive being just left behind? The stories behind these abandoned marvels are often full of intrigue, ambition, and sometimes even a touch of tragedy. So, buckle up, because we're about to take a wild ride through history, engineering, and maybe even a ghost story or two. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Our first stop takes us to the desolate plains of Kazakhstan, home to the Baikonur Cosmodrome, where the Soviet Buran space shuttle rests under a collapsed hangar. The Buran was the Soviet answer to NASA's space shuttle. It flew one unmanned mission in 1988, orbiting Earth twice before a perfect automatic landing. But then, the program was mothballed. The collapse of the Soviet Union played a major role, and funding for the Buran dried up. It rests, a silent sentinel of a space race long gone. Next, we're heading to Long Beach, California, where the Hughes H-4 Hercules, better known as the Spruce Goose, resides. This behemoth of an aircraft wasn't built mostly from spruce, and it certainly wasn't graceful like a goose. It was the brainchild of Howard Hughes, the eccentric aviator and engineer. Hughes envisioned a massive flying boat that could ferry troops and supplies across the Atlantic during World War II. Due to wartime restrictions on metal, the Goose was primarily constructed from wood, birch to be precise. The Spruce Goose boasts a wingspan longer than a football field and is taller than a 6-story building. Sadly, the Goose only flew once, a brief hop over the water in 1947 with Hughes at the controls. Today, the Spruce Goose is housed in a climate-controlled dome, a testament to Hughes's ambition and a popular tourist attraction. From aviation giants, we shift gears to a different kind of technological marvel, shrouded in mystery and crackling with potential. Nestled on Long Island, New York, stand the skeletal remains of Wardenclyffe Tower, better known as the Tesla Tower. This was the brainchild of Nikola Tesla, the visionary inventor who practically invented the 20th century. Tesla envisioned a world where electricity flowed freely through the air, wirelessly powering homes and transmitting information across vast distances. Sadly, like many ambitious projects, it was ultimately undone by a lack of funding and ahead-of-its-time thinking. The tower was never fully completed, and Tesla's grand vision of wireless power transmission remained just that, a vision. Today, efforts are underway to preserve the site and transform it into a museum dedicated to Tesla's legacy. Fasten your seatbelts because we're about to break the sound barrier as we explore the legacy of the Concord, the supersonic passenger jet that redefined air travel. Imagine jetting from London to New York in under 3.5 hours. That was the reality for a select few who had the privilege of flying aboard this technological marvel. The Concord was a joint venture between British and French aerospace engineers, a symbol of international collaboration. This sleek delta-winged beauty could cruise at twice the speed of sound, soaring high above the clouds. But alas, the supersonic dream was not long for this world. A tragic crash in 2000, coupled with rising fuel costs and the end of the Cold War, ultimately grounded the Concord fleet for good. Today, these supersonic swans rest in museums and airports around the world, silent reminders of a time when we dared to dream of traveling at the speed of sound. Hold on to your flux capacitors because we're taking a trip back to the 1980s to explore the story of the DeLorean DC-12, a car forever etched in our minds as the time-traveling masterpiece from Back to the Future. Even if you're not a car enthusiast, you have to admit, the DeLorean is one cool-looking automobile. With its gull-wing doors, brushed stainless steel body, and futuristic wedge shape, it was like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But behind those iconic looks lies a tale of ambition, financial turmoil, and ultimately unfulfilled potential. John DeLorean, the man behind the machine, was a former General Motors executive who struck out on his own to build the ethical sports car. Sadly, despite its promising start and undeniable cool factor, the DeLorean Motor Company was plagued by production delays, quality control issues, and ultimately, bankruptcy. The DMC-12 remains a beloved icon of 1980s pop culture and a testament to the enduring power of a good-looking car. We return now to the mind of Howard Hughes, the man who dared to dream big with the Hughes H-4 Hercules, better known by its nickname, the Spruce Goose. This behemoth of an aircraft wasn't built for speed or agility, it was designed to haul cargo across the Atlantic during World War II. Hughes envisioned a flying boat so massive it could transport troops, tanks, and even bombers across the ocean in a single trip. The Spruce Goose boasts a wingspan longer than a football field and stands taller than a 6-story building. Due to wartime restrictions on metal, Hughes had to construct this behemoth primarily out of wood, specifically birch plywood. Sadly, the Spruce Goose only flew once, a brief hop over the water in 1947 with Hughes at the controls. Despite its promise, the war ended before it could be pressed into service, and further development was plagued by cost overruns and skepticism. Today, the Spruce Goose is housed in a climate-controlled dome, a testament to Hughes's ambition and a popular tourist attraction. Our journey now takes us to the murky depths of the Potomac River, where a different kind of graveyard resides, the ghost fleet of Mallows Bay. Here, amidst the reeds and the mist, lie the skeletal remains of over 100 ships, their rotting hulls whispering tales of wars fought and forgotten. This eerie flotilla is a haunting reminder of the toll that conflict takes, not just on human lives, but on the very vessels that carry us through those tumultuous times. The Ghost Fleet is a hodgepodge of maritime history, a floating museum of vessels that once served their purpose but are now left to decay beneath the waves. There are wooden steamships from the Civil War era, their paddle wheels frozen in time, their decks overgrown with vegetation. The Ghost Fleet of the Potomac is a place of eerie beauty, a reminder of the ephemeral nature of human endeavors and the enduring power of the natural world to reclaim what we leave behind. From the murky depths of the Potomac we venture now to the sun-baked shores of the Saltn Sea, a vast, shallow, and strangely alluring body of water in Southern California. This is no ordinary lake. It's a place where the desert meets the sea, where mirages shimmer on the horizon, and where a submerged secret lies hidden beneath the waves. This is the story of the Saltn Sea Test Base, a once top-secret military facility that played a crucial role in the development of sonar technology during World War II. Imagine a vast network of underwater structures designed to test and refine the acoustic sensors that would help Allied ships detect enemy submarines. For years, the Saltn Sea Test Base was a hive of activity, its piers bustling with sailors and scientists, its waters alive with the pings and echoes of sonar signals. But as the war ended and technology advanced, the need for such a remote and specialized facility dwindled. Today, the Saltn Sea Test Base is a submerged ghost town, its buildings slowly crumbling beneath the waves, its secrets hidden from view. Our next stop takes us to the heart of the Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, where a once grand symbol of progress now stands silent and still, the Michigan Central Station. This architectural marvel, with its soaring arches, ornate ceilings, and cavernous waiting hall, was once a bustling hub of activity, a gateway to points east and west. For decades, Michigan Central Station was a symbol of Detroit's industrial might, a testament to the power of the railroad to connect people and places. But as the automobile rose to prominence and air travel became more accessible, passenger rail travel declined, and the grand old station fell into disuse. Its windows were boarded up, its chandeliers grew dusty, and its once gleaming floors were littered with debris. For years, Michigan Central Station stood as a haunting reminder of Detroit's economic decline, a symbol of the city's lost grandeur. In recent years, efforts have been underway to redevelop the station, to breathe new life into this architectural treasure. Our final destination is Hashima Island, Japan, also known as Gunkanjima or Battleship Island. Once the most densely populated place on Earth, it now stands abandoned, a testament to Japan's industrial might and nature's reclaiming power. Walking through its crumbling buildings evokes awe and melancholy. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour through some of the most amazing abandoned technology and vehicles our planet has to offer. From the silent depths of space to the rusting hulks of ships, these relics of the past serve as powerful reminders of human ingenuity, ambition, and sometimes even folly. But more than that, they ignite our curiosity, don't they? They make us want to dig deeper, to learn more about the stories behind these abandoned marvels. So, the next time you stumble upon a photo of a forgotten factory or a derelict train station, don't just scroll past. Take a moment to imagine the people who built it, the dreams they held, the forces that led to its abandonment. Thanks for joining me on this adventure, and remember, there's a whole world of abandoned wonders out there just waiting to be rediscovered.